Hey everyone, Amy here. Welcome back to my channel, Paper Therapy. I'm gonna do some paper therapy today. It's last year's back to school photo. And it's kind of bittersweet doing this because this guy isn't going back to high school. He is finished. And it was the first year that he had his own car and drove his brothers. So those are the pictures. I'm going to do a two-page spread. I usually do more pictures than 4 on a 2-page spread, but I just didn't want to squeeze them onto, I just like seeing the 2 pages together. That's what I usually do. Just what I like. So I have a few different things. It's more of a stash busting layout than new product, but I do have, this is some photo mats I've already cut. They are from the mix-ins, the current mix-ins. So they're gonna go around these photos like this and this. And this one here. And then I have some, what else do I have that's current? So I've cut out of some note paper here. I've used, this stamp is from a newer stamp set. I will link it all below in case. I'm not finding it right here beside me and I can't remember what it's called, but it's 4 circles. And it's in the latest little mini catalog. And it had some words around the edge, but I've cut those off just to have the... then I have, this was a Picture My Life card from In Full Bloom. And I'm just cutting out, so this one didn't have a 12. The 12 was on the back side, but I wanted black. So I'm just gonna put these 2 together so we have a 12, because this guy's in grade 12. And then this guy's in grade 8. And this fella's in grade 10. So that's there. Then I have these guys. I've made a few tags with the buildable tags, so that's available. Then I have this, and this is from So Much Happy. And I have a few other little items from the So Much Happy. And then I have the different pictures that were also on that card that had the numbers. These. And this is the zip strip from the buildable tags. I'll be using that. And this, oh no, not from buildable tags, from, pardon me. This is the zip strip from this paper. And then this is from buildable tags. And this is the library card stamp from, I want to say it's called Date Stamp. I think it's called Date Stamp, but like I said, I will link it below. I will link everything below. So we should be good that way. And I've got a matting for this one. This is mink and the background's black. Now I have this paper, which I think is older, but we also have a more current one. So that's gonna go in like this on the ends with a trim around the edges. But I'm quite sure we also have a current sheet, like very similar to this, it looks like. And then this is, I'm sure many of you will remember this paper. It's from Urban. There we go. My little brain was just a-worrying there, trying to remember Urban. So it's kind of got like the blueprints look on it, but I thought for back to school it would work. So I'm just gonna push this stuff all out of the way. So this is where I'm going with this layout. I know exactly where I'm going because I've kind of pre-planned off camera. Then I have these 2 sheets. These are totally not close to my heart. This one I had in my stash. I picked up secondhand somewhere, and I want to put it kind of across the 2. And I want to put it up so this periodic table of elements shows. so I can put my pictures kind of under. I kind of just think it's neat. And this is going to come in down here, and then I'm going to embellish with red and have some red. But I'll have to cut this in 2 places to get that to work. But it's also from my stash. I'm not sure who made it or where it came from, but I do know that I pulled it out of my stash. So anyways, I'm going to get going and glue these guys down off camera, and then I'll show you how I'm going to build the rest of this layout. Okay, so I've got all this stuff glued down, and I wanted to show you a few things. Well, I don't have these glued down. So I'm just deciding yet if I'm going to have this go all the way up to here, or I'm going to have it trim on the edge. And I'm thinking I'm probably going to trim it along the edge. And this is all going to get covered by pictures. At least I hope it will. And then I'm wanting to put this one. I only had one of these, right? Because I only got one package of the mix-ins, and they come with 1 sheet apiece. So I'm hoping to like cover that up like that somewhat. And then this picture is going to go on this side. So I do want to show you how I get this sharp little black edge on here. This is a direct inking from the ink pad. Now, the more you angle the ink pad, I'll show you on a scrap piece of paper. So here's the numbers. The more you angle, the more stronger that black is going to be. If I go straight at a 90, then I've got that much. But if I come at a 45, then I've got that much. So I wanted it quite like as bold as I could get it. And if you did it any deeper of an angle than this, then you'd start to get you see how I'm starting to get the streaks there, which I don't mind. Now I've got the piece cut to the size that I want. I just haven't cut it down the center yet because I'm not sure if I'm going to position it a little to the left or a little to the right. But most likely I was going to put the cut between the words periodic and table. But we'll see how that turns out. And as I said, I have only just the 1 zip strip that came with the mix-in sheet that I'm using here. And I've got these tags. They're not actually from the buildable tags. I believe I said that before, but they're from the tabs and tags. That particular thin cut is going on into the next core catalog as well. So they'll be around for a while. Here, just trying to arrange the car. From my bedroom window, I took a picture of the boys backing out of the driveway and off to school on their own. All those milestones. And this is the date stamp. I believe it looks like a library card. I don't actually have the thin cut, but I just cut it to size and round the corners, and it looks just like a library card. The thin cut is very neat though, because then you get the pocket for the library card as well. The old school library card pockets, now everything's scanned with a scanner. I said in another video that I was always wanting to be a librarian when I was a little girl because the librarian had a pen with that little stamp on it, and I always wanted one of those because I thought they were pretty awesome. I think bankers might have had them too. They're pretty neat. I've got a few embellishments here from the old Urban paper pack too. It's I think it's when we had Urban the first time, possibly. Or maybe the second time. I can't remember. But anyways, that's where I picked up those little blue bits. And then the light bulb and the camera and the little globe come from that In Full Bloom Picture My Life card where I got the 10, 8, and 12 from. So I've got a little bit of stamping on this page, a little bit of Picture My Life cards, a little bit of die cutting, and a little bit of cut apart sheet from an older paper pack. Nice mix of embellishments. Nice way to see all the different ways you can embellish your page. And I'm just trying to arrange everything, popping up some images and making my little mark here so that I'm able to cut the sheet in the right spot. On these paper trimmers, if you just press the paper down against the very bottom of the paper trimmer, you'll be able to get the cut straight, as long as your paper's straight. Here I'm just distressing the edge, and I'm not distressing the edges that are going together. Can you hear the train going by? I live close to a train track, so you'll hear them more often in my videos. Anyways, I don't distress the edge that is between the two pages of the layout when it's a continuous layout like this, because I'm wanting to make it look cohesive. So I only distressed around the very outside. I stuck all my embellishments down to this picture, just so I could pick up the whole kit and caboodles, as my mother would say. And that way I can do some ink splattering and stamping on that note paper on the ends underneath the loose, that looks like loose leaf. I'm just using the date stamp, has a few words. So I'm using, here I'm using September 2021. And then in another spot, I'm using the words this year. And I'm going to use the word remember on the top of the library card. So just adding a little bit of kind of journaling with those little words, kind of fun. I am going to write on the library card, and I'm going to write a little bit on the loose leaf as well, just to explain what's happening in the pictures. So here comes Perfectly Imperfect, which I'm using for the ink splatters, using the large ink splatter stamp. And this is the beauty of that I've just stuck all my embellishments kind of to the picture for now. I'll stick them all down shortly, just so I can see. And I wasn't sure where I was going to place that whole picture and embellishment, but I do end up overlapping the red line a little bit, and I actually quite like that. It really kind of draws the eye. I have the embellishments kind of framing the picture of my three boys, but also I have them in a triangle. If you look to the second layout, then there's a triangle being formed by the top left corner, the bottom right corner of the picture of my three boys, and then the top right corner of the other layout. Here, just adding, had to peel this up a little bit to just add some splatter underneath. I actually kind of prefer the splatter stamp set to actually using real splatter, because I like to really be able to control where it's going. But real splatter is fun. It's fun as well, but I'm a little bit of a control freak maybe and like to know exactly where it's going to end up. Also off the Perfectly Imperfect, I used the little row of hearts, and I didn't really want the full-on red that you see on the top of Our Tradition there on the top of the picture. That's a tab from the tabs and tags. And that is our tradition, to do a picture at back to school every year. I never did it on the last day of school. I would always forget. So I only have them from the first day every year. And so I'm just stamping off every time, because I just don't want the full-on red that I'm using. I'm not sure which red I'm using. I don't believe I have that exact red. I'm also using different shades of red in this reddy orange in this, or orangey red in this layout. So I don't even really have the exact color. So I think any red with a bit of orange to it will do with it stamped off just a little bit. I really like how those little doodled hearts kind of look. The kind of hearts that work with a boy layout, because they're a bit of a, yeah, like they've been doodled there. Got some across the top of the library card, some in the bottom right corner. And that's when I bring out my little embellishments, gems, and I think I did sequins on this layout. There we go. That was the word I was looking for, sequins. So you'll see a few sequins show up right shortly. I've got this, just gluing this down into place so that I like the way my little hearts and splatters are looking. And tying my little bow with some old, also close to my heart product, but older baker's twine. And now adding some sequins as a finishing touch. Just a little bit of red. I generally do them in 3s, and I didn't do them in 3 on the bottom right. And then later on when I'm giving you a close-up, I think, it needs 3 there. So I do end up adding the 3rd one. Odd numbers seem to just look nicer. And it's kind of fun because I have an odd number of people in my family, and I find that it's easier to position people when you take photos too, when you have odd numbers. Now, don't message me and be upset if you have an even number of people in your family. Just get a dog. No, I'm just kidding. There's definitely ways to position people. Photographers know that there's ways to position people if you have an even number. But odd numbers are just more naturally easy to position the people because for some reason it's more pleasing to the eye to see odd numbers. Just a few more little sequins going on here, and I think this page is pretty well done. I love how it turned out with the numbers by my kids showing what grades they're in, and they've already changed so much from these photos. My oldest son was standing a little on his tiptoes so he could be the tallest. He said, "It's my last year and I'm the tallest." But now the middle boy is towering over him, so he wouldn't be doing that now anymore. So there's a little close-up just showing you how it turned out, how those embellishment clusters look. This is a good example of embellishment clusters without flowers. Flowers make things easier. Here's where I'm going to discover, there's where my journaling will go, which is going to be on the stills after. But here I'm going to discover, hey, it needs to have a little extra one there. And I just like that a bit better. So here is some stills, and I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you do, hit that little bell icon, hit like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Thanks for watching. Bye.